This is Super Yacht News in association with Go Earth Boating, navigating boat buyers to better deals. Hi, welcome back to the channel. So we've got some breaking news here, a reference, an incident that we reported on in a couple of previous episodes of Super Yacht News. We talked about the co-founder of Mazu Yachts. His name was Halit Yokai, on a yachting trip in his own yacht named Grey Wolf, and he was heading over to the Mykonos. As far as we understand, he was going to Mykonos. The vessel was hit by a cargo ship, a very big cargo ship in comparison to his 12-meter yacht. This was on the 4th of August. Yokai set off from Yalova, which is up towards Istanbul way, and he was heading southbound through the Marmara Sea there. The vessel was heading northeast and the yacht was heading southwest. It was heading from a place called Trinakile, I believe it's pronounced, to a place called Kosale. There was a collision and unfortunately he lost his life, and he was found 19 days later. They searched for 19 days and they found his body on the seabed about 68 meters down. And the recovery operation, I would imagine, has been completed now because we found that out a couple of days ago. The breaking news is regarding what the crew of the cargo ship were actually doing at the time of the collision. The crew members have now admitted in the statements that they had been focused on cooking. They're having a barbecue on the stern, on a makeshift grill at the stern of the vessel. Also, they're suggesting that the captain was not at the wheel at the time. One seaman says, "I went below to bring food and I felt a vibration. When I came back up, I saw debris on the water that looked like yacht fragments. I filmed the pieces with my phone while the second officer was standing next to me. The supervising officer was aware, so I did not report it elsewhere." Another sailor confirmed that the entire crew rushed to the deck after noticing wreckage, but said no one called for help, assuming that the ship's officer in charge would handle it. Turkish prosecutors have placed the ship's captain, the second captain, with chief officer, and 7 other crew members under investigation. The captain and his deputy face charges of causing death by negligence, whilst the rest may be prosecuted for failing to report a crime. Investigators suspect that the captain had switched the vessel to automatic pilot mode before leaving the bridge without assigning a lookout. A record from Turkey's emergency service also entered the case file. It shows that the wife of one crew member had phoned 112, primary emergency number in Turkey, claiming, "My husband's ship struck something," but the captain told the crew to stay silent. Although she later retracted her statement, prosecutors are treating it as evidence. So it sounds, based the fact that the captain wanted everybody to stay quiet, seems to suggest that they were trying to cover up the fact that they'd had that crash, right? Now, experts have confirmed that the samples taken from the ship's bow, the cargo ship's bow, the paint that they scraped off it matches layers from Yukai's yacht, strengthening the suspicion of a collision. Investigators have also retrieved a navigation console from the yacht. In this article, they talk about it it's often described as a black box. It's certainly not a black box in terms of a voyage data recorder, but they might be able to gain some information from that device as to the route he was taking and possibly the speed. But on a yacht that size, that unit would have been very basic, and I don't think it will have an awful lot of data, but it could show his last position before the collision. So the investigation continues. Prosecutors are working to determine the full scope of responsibility for the incident that cost Halit Yokai his life. So there you go. That's the update. It sounds like a tragic situation. Like, we don't know what Mr. Yokai was doing at the time. We don't know where he was on the boat. Like, obviously, if the cargo ship was heading in on a course and there was nobody at the helm, you also have to ask the question: what was he doing on his yacht at the time? Was he preoccupied? Did he have engine problems? Was he looking the other way? trying to fix an engine issue? I don't know. Was he anchored, sleeping? I don't know the answer to that question. Obviously, they're trying to find that out. That device, if they get anything from it, if it gives a speed, it will tell you that the vessel was moving at the time. Another thing to note is we looked at the last 30 days of tracks from this cargo ship. It's called RL7, the cargo ship, and you can see that the vessel is going back and forth. Now, this reminds me of that incident in the UK earlier this year, that the Solong and Stena Immaculate incident. When we looked at the Solong AIS track, it showed a vessel that was going back and forth, very well trodden path for that vessel, right? So in those situations, you can see how the crew can become complacent and think, well, we do this all the time. We know that, we know the routes, we know where we are, that kind of thing. I'm not making excuses. I'm just saying that I can see how this can happen when a vessel is doing the same routes constantly. So yeah, that's all the information that we have. We'll be interested to know your thoughts on this, and we'll obviously bring you updates when we have it. All right, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch up with you soon. Bye-bye.